Thanks for tuning into the Adam Carolla Show. You can watch the full show on YouTube. Just search Adam Carolla Show and hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can also get the podcast wherever you like to listen. And for extra content, ad-free episodes, and more, you can head over to our Substack and sign up today. Podcasting isn't just about talking. It's about growing, engaging, and monetizing. And that's where Podcast One Pro comes in. Whether you're an independent creator or a major brand, Podcast One Pro gives you the tools you need to take your podcast to the next level. We're talking about premium hosting, advanced analytics, dynamic ad integration, and expert distribution, all designed to maximize your reach and revenue. Plus, with access to Podcast One's industry-leading network, you'll be connected to top-tier advertisers and a massive audience. It's time to go pro and turn your passion into profit. Visit podcastonePro.com to get started today. Podcast One Pro, the power behind the podcast. Cary Elwes in studio. Cary's got a show out called M.I.A. It's on Peacock. It's, I don't know, top 3, I think, streaming shows?
Top 10 in the, yeah.
Well, top 3's in the top 10. I'll just call it top 3.
It's in the Nielsen's top 10, which is great.
That's
yes,
amazing.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I was talking about you on the way in, and I was talking to Andrew, who's a bit of a film file over there, and he was talking about Days of Thunder, and I was like, oh, yeah, Hot Shots. He said Blackberry was great. I haven't seen Blackberry, but he said you're scene stealing in Blackberry. And we were just kind of going over your resume, and I was like, oh, yeah. Forgot about that Princess Bride, of course.
Yeah.
How did that come about, Princess Bride or Hollywood in general?
I started out working in England. I'm British, obviously, as you know, can tell. And I'd done a couple of movies in England. And right before Princess Bride, I'd made a movie called Lady Jane, which was Helena Bonham Carter's first movie.
Wow.
And it was directed by Trevor Nunn. He's a terrific director. Theater director. It was his first movie. And Rob saw that film.
Rob Reiner.
Reiner. Mm-hmm. And he flew to Berlin. I was making a British, German, Finnish co-production in Berlin, and he flew to Berlin and read me in my hotel room.
Wow!
And that was that.
Is your British accent is there, but it's not really pronounced.
No.
And I've found that people, whether it's British or they're from the Bronx, I've seen politicians do it. They can ratchet it up or they can turn it down. You know what I mean?
Right.
So is that kind of a thing where you can bring it up for a movie like that?
Well, it's a very good question, Adam. And when I got to the States, I always wanted to move here, by the way. Even as a kid, growing up, I was like, I've got to get to America at some point.
To act just to be
and
here?
And to live here. And some of my favorite actors are Americans, so I studied British acting, and I thought, well, now I've got to study American acting. So I got the best of both worlds, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got here, I had a very strong English accent, and people couldn't understand what I was saying. And I would say, I'd like to have a Coca-Cola, please. And they go, what? Mm-hmm. And so I had to adapt. Plus, I didn't, there weren't that many British roles available. There are now. Mm-hmm. But back then, I had to sort of adapt and to get American roles.
You know what's a break for people with British accents? The fact that the British accent has become the basic go-to accent of space and the future.
Yes.
Why
is that? Well, if you're Peter Cushing and you're with the dark side.
Yes. I think it's interesting. So you go, well, if it was German, it would be distracting. Mm-hmm. If it was sort of a guy from Louisiana, It would sound weird too. I think it's the go-to accent for accuracy and sort of evolution. So, like, when they're doing a car company is doing a VO,
Right.
it's oftentimes a woman with a British accent
Right.
because it says this is quality.
It's classy.
You can trust this, and this is accurate. And I think in space, you want quality and accuracy.
Have you ever driven a Ford Cortina?
Oh.
Okay.
You know, I've been to Goodwood a few times,
Okay.
and they drive those Cortinas.
Have you ever been in one?
Goodwood.
That was our car growing up.
It was, yeah.
Dude, that thing was like the Flintstone thing. Sometimes you had to get out and push it. It worked, except during winter.
Yes. People, by the way, that had a twin cam Lotus engine in it.
Wow.
And they race those things.
That's impressive.
A
that
lot.
You know that,
I do know
Adam.
a lot
That's
about Ford
incredible.
Cortinas.
Wow.
They're good little boxy sedans,
yeah,
or saloons, as you
saloon.
guys would
Saloon,
call them, because I know a lot about vintage racing and have been to
now I'm impressed. Adam.
Goodwood's in Chichester, by the way.
Incredible.
You know, the thing about cars is I spent tons of time bump starting cars, pushing cars.
Yeah.
You would have to, like, if the starter was bad on the car, you'd have to park it on a hill
100%.
so you could get in
That's
and
what we
drop it
did.
in a second.
We
You
would
did
always
that,
park,
right?
Always park on a hill. Yeah.
Car not working was a pain in the ass back then, but it was a viable excuse for not going to work. You could call your boss and go, car took a crap,
Right.
can't get it started.
Right.
You can't pull that shit anymore.
No.
If
Well,
anybody calls you now and goes,
that's it.
my car doesn't start, you go, you're lying.
Yeah.
You're hungover.
Exactly. No, but my mom she was a single mom, had to get her 3 kids to school, and, you know, we had to be there. So we'd get out and push and get the thing started in the dead of winter. And, you know, that's how we rolled, man.
It was a 4-speed.
God,
It wasn't an automatic.
I think it had 1 speed.
Well, you had to bump it. You can't bump an automatic.
Yeah. No, it was gear. But
Yeah,
it was,
you had to go.
You had to go into first gear and then get the thing up and
It was great too, because there's a lot of
and then it
communication.
was jerked.
Yeah, the people that were pushing the car at some point would get frustrated and tired and start yelling, "Drop the clutch!"
Yeah,
and
no,
the guy in the car's going, "I got to get going faster."
I can't believe you know all of this.
And then there was always the controversy: do you go first gear or second gear?
Yes.
Because if you go first gear, it's going to grab hard, but if you go second, sometimes it goes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you know all of this?
I bump started cars. I bump started motorcycles. I worked on everything.
Wow.
Everything was broken all the time, and all I did was work on cars.
Incredible.
And it's all stuck in my head.
Incredible.
I was not young and beautiful and wanting to come to America to pursue an acting career. I knew it wasn't going to work out early for me, so I better learn how to bump start a car. So you grow up you have brothers and
Yes.
and you're middle class, lower, whatever.
Yeah, lower middle, yeah.
And you're driving a Ford Cortina.
Yes, sir.
And you're bump starting it.
Yes, sir.
Because your mom does what?
She was working as an assistant to an interior designer.
Mm-hmm.
So she was earning just enough money to feed us. And she would just lock us in the apartment and go to work, which you could never get away with today.
Right.
So social service would come and get us all.
Yeah.
But we didn't mind. You know, we had chores she would leave us with, you know. And then when we were done with the chores, we could chill, you know.
Yeah, I mean, back then it was just a lot of reality on reality's terms.
Basically.
Like, here you were, we didn't even know.
No.
We were just around.
Yeah.
You made your own fun and entertainment,
100%.
whatever. But a dream of coming to
Right.
the United States and being an actor.
Yeah.
From what age?
From when I discovered the TV set, the little black and white TV.
What kind of stuff were you watching?
Oh, God. You won't know this, but there was I'll be amazed if you do. There was a show called Do Not Adjust Your Set.
Yeah, I remember that
You're
name.
kidding, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so this was early Python.
Right.
And it was Palin, it was Cleese, it was Terry Jones.
Oh, so it was
and
comedy
Neil
you were
Innes.
interested
Yeah,
in.
Peter Sellers.
All right.
Yeah, so and then, of course, dramas.
Was Dudley Moore in there somewhere?
No, that was later.
Okay.
But Alec Guinness, Olivier, Ralph Richardson. I became like a student of film thanks to that TV set.
You know, it was weird. When I was young, living in Los Angeles,
Right.
I would watch Benny Hill.
Benny, sure, huge, massive.
And when Jimmy and I got together to do the Man Show,
Right.
we were like, we need a Benny Hill type show out here.
Yeah, could never get away with it.
And not now, but the Man Show was kind of loosely based on Benny Hill.
Yeah, no, he was massive.
He was massive.
No, like the Beatles, crazy, like nuts.
And, I was read up on him, and it ended up being kind of a sad story with him. Like it was So Benny Hill was, bigger than Dave Chappelle.
Basically.
Is here. Like Dave Chappelle, everyone knows Dave Chappelle, but he's not he's not on TV every night.
Right.
And there's more than 3 channels or whatever.
Yeah.
Benny Hill's known everywhere.
Yeah.
He's a hero.
Hero.
And he's famous in the United States too, because they run the Benny Hill show. Sort of dies alone.
Yeah.
Just kind of drifted
A lot of these
off.
guys, Terry Thomas, Dudley Moore, they all had a rough ending. It's sad. It's sad.
Well, Dudley Moore at least married Susan Anton
Right.
before he died.
Right.
That meant he got to be the 6'3" blonde when he was 5'4".
Yeah, but remember Terry Thomas?
Yeah.
The great Terry Thomas who had
Yep.
the gap teeth?
Yep.
Massive star. Died alone, broke in a bed sit.
Really?
Yeah, pathetic. Just a tragic ending to an unbelievably legendary career.
We need a picture of Susan Anton and Dudley Moore standing next to each other, because I appreciate Dudley Moore for leaning into the height difference.
No, you totally used it.
There's some guys who go, listen, I'm 5'5", so I have to date a gymnast and you have to wear flats. Dudley Moore was like, I'm dating a 6-foot blonde.
Yeah.
And we're going out.
No, he was great. I got to work with him. I was an
you did?
assistant. Yeah, I was working as an assistant at Carnegie Hall. And he came and did a
Pianist, right?
Yeah, he came and played the piano. Lovely. I was like, oh my God, I get to meet Dudley Moore.
So you were at Carnegie Hall watching these different acts come through, which had to be kind of thrilling, right?
Yeah.
So that was like a little bit of show business for you.
Frank Sinatra.
There's Susan Anton. By the way, she's wearing heels.
She is. I'm wearing heels.
She's 14 inches taller than Dudley Moore.
It's hilarious.
And he passed young.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah.
10 was a great movie he was
10
in,
was
by the
great.
way. Arthur was great. So you had an eye toward comedy.
Well, I both. I was studying both. I thought I'll make sure I cover all the bases, Adam.
Yeah, but you had a leading man look.
Right.
You have a leading man look.
Thank you.
So does that make it more difficult for comedy? But you've done a lot of comedy, but does it sort of push people
My father
towards
was a
you?
comedian.
Oh, he was?
Yeah. So I had to study comedy in order to just keep up with what he was doing.
He was a stand-up comedian?
No, he was he should have been.
Uh-huh.
He was one of those guys that could everybody in the room would just be begging him to stop.
He had a gift for comedy.
Unbelievable gift.
But he never
pursued it.
Never pursued it.
Nope.
It's interesting. Also in England, there are stand-up comedians, but they seem to lean more towards sketch and improv and all those group-based things.
Money's at.
Versus
They don't pay
straight
him.
stand-up.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Yeah.
So your dad had this gift,
Amazing.
and he didn't really capitalize on it.
No. So I thought
You should
I
capitalize.
should give that a shot.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that sad a little bit? Like I felt personally that way. When I was on a construction site, I was like, I think you have a gift for comedy, but you're just sitting around swinging a hammer all day. Like you don't. My biggest fear was to squander something I could do. Like I wanted to play professional football, but at a certain point, it was clear I couldn't do it.
Right.
And it didn't bother me because I didn't feel like I squandered it. I felt like I got as far as I could get.
Right.
And now I can get no more.
Right.
And I felt that way with sports. But when it came to comedy, I was like, I think you got something, but if you don't do anything with it, then life is a little bit of a waste.
100%.
Here.
I thought the best shot I had at it, Adam, was studying. Because that's what we do, right? We study. Every job we take It's an education. So for me, I was like, well, I can't go to acting class or film school. I've got a TV set. It's free education. Let me just make sure I'm in front of the TV. It was before you could record, and so you had to time it. You had to look at a magazine that gave you like a TV guide of equivalent, and make sure you were in front of the TV set at that hour to catch what you wanted to learn.
It is so insane when you think about these days.
Yeah.
Like, I could remember my grandmother subscribed to the TV guide.
Oh.
And she'd get the thing on Monday, and she'd be highlighting everything. And then at some point, my mom, who was too poor to afford a subscription to a TV guide, which was probably $2 a year, she had like, Helen, okay, hold on. You can look at it, but you can't take it. I've already highlighted all this. There's a big battle over who got the TV guide. Yeah. My mom was not to be trusted.
No.
I remember later on when my grandfather would make a pot of goulash when I was poor, and he'd go, take some goulash home. And I was like starving. I was like 19. I'd go, okay. Yeah. And then my grandmother would go, not in the Tupperware. Not the Tupperware. That doesn't leave the house. You put it in a jar. Lotsie, put it in the jar. He's not taking the Tupperware. Let's just big battles over a Tupperware container in a TV guide.
Sure, that's hilarious.
It's a big deal back then.
Big deal. It's hilarious.
It is nuts, right?
Nuts. And then, I remember getting my first TV guide when I got here on vacation as a kid. And we only had like 3 channels in England. And to open up your TV guide here and see just how much programming was going on.
Yeah.
And it was, they clearly had designated it enough to publish the times and channels of every single show. So we knew when, Gilligan's Island was on or Beverly Hillbillies. And, so it was an amazing thing.
I think there was a anticipation and a delayed gratification and basically sort of a foreplay in life that we're missing now.
Yeah, sure.
That you could look and go, oh, I remember always like, oh, The Grinch That Stole Christmas is going to be on Sunday, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to circle that.
Yeah.
Count down the days.
Yeah, right.
Yes, and it was, I think what's going on is we as human beings try to sort of expedite everything. So you go, I want food. I want it now. Call Grubhub. I want it brought to my mouth. Right. Bring it here. And whereas the making of the food is much more satisfying, but we don't want the foreplay part. We want to jump right to the sex all the time because it's a sort of human condition. And you go, we did a lot of like, I want a bicycle. Well, your birthday's not for 7 months. It was a lot of like birthday, Christmas. That was it. There was no on Amazon now, next day delivery.
Sure.
And it's what we say we want, but I think it leads to sort of dissatisfaction. I think I think it was better when people had to wait for things.
Yeah, I agree.
And then you would appreciate those things more because you waited for them.
100%.
And the immediate satisfaction that time we're living in is made people sort of uncomfortable, and I feel like a restlessness even in the lack of, I just call it sort of foreplay, just sort of the courtship part. They just go, I want it now.
Sure. No question about it. I agree with you on that. Yeah, there was a great excitement in knowing, being able to circle as your grandmother did, that show that you wanted to see and make sure that you timed your day or your week around making sure you could watch it.
Yes. Yes. And the stuff wasn't even that great back then, if you think about it.
But it doesn't matter. It was as you said, it was like, oh my gosh, Channel 7, or whatever. Twilight Zone.
Were you watching American stuff in England?
They didn't have much American programming in England.
Oh, they didn't?
We didn't get, believe it or not, we did not get Star Trek until we went color in 1967.
And what year did you come out to the States? How old were you? Sorry.
On vacation or?
Oh, just when you came out to really
work. I was 18.
So Princess Bride was after that then.
24.
Right. So you came out, but you ended up going back and you were in Europe doing other projects. That's when Rob Reiner came calling. Did you know how good Princess Bride was going to be before you made it, or even Rob Reiner and his, All in the Family stuff? And
Yeah, I'd seen Rob, obviously, in All in the Family in Archie Bunker's house. I knew I had seen Spinal Tap. Believe it or not, my father was a diehard Bill Goldman fan. Like, took us to see Butch Cassidy like 10, 15 times. Obsessed with it.
Really?
Oh, obsessed with it.
The Redford Newman?
Redford Newman.
Oh, I got a bunch of Paul Newman race cars.
I know. I noticed some pictures out in your lorry. It's
I
pretty
got
cool.
13 of them.
No way.
Yeah.
You have his cars?
I have all his cars.
Wait, how the heck did that happen?
Um,
Forget my story. Let me interview. We'll be back with Adam Carolla and his Paul Newman cars in just a moment. Wait a minute.
It started innocently enough.
Wow.
Which was I started collecting race cars, and they were Datsun race cars now than Nissan race cars. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to go vintage racing, and I always loved Nissans, and they were kind of not that exciting, but they're bulletproof, and they're fast, and they won a lot of races. Like a Cortina.
Cortina's won races?
Look up a Cortina with a Lotus twin cam motor in it.
That's hilarious.
Yes, and they ran in B sedan, they call their saloon or whatever. Datsun 510s ran with them as well. So there's plenty of Cortinas racing like I said, at Goodwood, Chichester. So I started buying Datsuns.
Right.
And Newman drove 4 Datsun and 4 Nissan all through the 80s and late 70s. And so what started happening is people would say, there's a 85 GT1 championship car, 300ZX turbo car that's for sale and it's in Connecticut. And I know you like Datsuns or Nissans, so maybe you should get that championship car. And I'd go, oh, okay. And then they'd go, oh, and Paul Newman drove it for that season, and he won the runoffs at Road Atlanta in 85. And so I'd go, oh, okay. And then the car would have Newman's name on it. But no one cared. And then another car would come up, and it'd be like, oh, and Paul Newman drove this one too.
Crazy.
And so what happened was it started to dawn on me that I was less a Nissan Datsun collector and more of a Newman collector.
That's amazing.
Here's a Cortina. There's 2 Cortinas at Goodwood.
Oh my God! That's my mom when we were late for school. Yeah. That's crazy. But that's not the engine they came with, dude. There's no way.
There was such thing as a Lotus twin cam that came in a Cortina, but there was probably a Climax engine or something, 100%. A non-twin cam.
No, there's no way. Anyway, but so now wait. So you lucked into. You'd bought 2 Newman cars, and all of a sudden you're thinking, wait, no one's buying these cars. I've already got 2. I might have a shot at having a collection of Newman cars.
It's also a thing, too, where once you declare this is what you do.
Right. Like the owners
there's a woman, if there's a woman at the office who loves hippos, and she always wears her hippo sweater, and she's got her purple hippo cup and stuff like that, at some point, Christmas is going to roll around, and she gets a hippo mug.
Got it.
Because the word's out.
So, but now they know you're Adam Carolla and you've got money and now the price changes. At
the beginning, you just go. There'd be some guy. It was like a weird tight group. Also, car guys they can be a little weird. Like they'll go like, I don't want this to be public. I don't want to bring it to auction. I don't want people to know. Okay. I want it to just be quiet. They also have a thing where they go, I want you to have it.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
I don't want to sell it to some guy who's going to flip it or bring it to Dubai or something like that.
Right.
You have it.
That's cool.
You race these cars.
And they know you're
you restore these cars. You're not a dealer.
Right.
So
that's cool.
There is a thing. It's kind of weird because it's like guys, they get older. Money's not really an issue.
Right.
It's more about sort of a little legacy and kind of doing the right thing. And they go like, I want you to have the car. And I want you to drive the car and show the car and bring the car, and they get like a little nostalgic about it,
How many have you got?
I got 14 Newman race cars.
Holy mackerel.
But they're not,
dude.
He did not personally own all of them.
No, but
he personally owns some of them.
Right.
But not
But
all
he
of them.
drove all of them.
Yes, he drove all of them, some for entire
That
seasons,
is really impressive.
some for He won 4 championships.
Yeah, no, he was an amazing driver. Unbelievable race car driver. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and so
Taught Tom Cruise, which is why we ended up making Days of Thunder.
Somebody, I don't know if you have Tom on speed dial, but I have his like one and only driving suit.
For real.
Yeah, so
From Days of Thunder.
No, from when he raced with Newman.
That's cool.
He raced, and I have his helmet, too.
I'm sure he was wondering what happened.
He should hit me up. I'd be fair, price-wise, with the man. He raced with Newman.
Right.
He raced with
sure.
Bob Sharp and Newman out of Connecticut.
Right.
I have everything Bob Sharp ever owned. I just bought it from him.
Right.
Fire suits and helmets and everything else. He kept, when Cruise was done and when Newman was done with a season or a few seasons, Bob just took the fire suits and the helmets and put it back in storage.
Amazing.
They didn't really care.
Yeah.
Cruise, according to Bob Sharp, was a little heavy-footed, like a little overly aggressive.
Right.
And could get himself into trouble.
Sure.
And they raced for like 2 seasons, and Bob was being magnanimous when he's like, I'm glad he retired before he got hurt, because he had a little like, this guy's nuts.
Oh, that's funny.
And he's gonna hurt himself.
Wow.
And nobody wanted him
No.
putting himself in that situation either. Was that, Days of Thunder, you must have seen a little of that in him, right?
Well, no, he was actually really, but at that point.
I don't mean aggressive or mean or anything. I just mean he drove really hard.
He raced more than anybody.
Right.
More than the stunt people they hired. Plus, Dale Earnhardt, Petty, these guys were basically hired by the production to teach us how to race NASCAR, because he never raced NASCAR before.
It is his own specific thing.
It's his own specific thing. And so we would go out to the track with these guys and, have them teach us how to drive, and then more comfortable enough how to rub and all of that. So it was really quite an experience.
And that was, before any CGI,
No, it was
AI,
the real
like
thing.
whatever, like
It was
you're
the
just
real thing. We're out
there.
doing it. So they surrounded us with stunt drivers,
Right.
obviously.
Right.
But we built our own cars. We couldn't get a NASCAR to give us any cars because they just didn't want it. They were like, why would we want you to trash them?
Right.
We can perfectly do that on our own if we need to. And so we built our own. Paramount built these cars at they weren't cheap. And I read somewhere after the movie wrapped many, many years later that some of them ended up being found in a barn.
Yeah.
Like Tom's City car
Right.
and 2 others. They somehow had left them there, production, and some guy was out weed whacking or whatever, and it was like, what's this? And restored them. And now they're like part of in a museum somewhere, which is kind of cool.
Nobody had a lot of reverence for memorabilia and stuff like that until recently.
Yeah.
It didn't really exist. Like, the Dorothy shoes or whatever it is. Stuff was sort of just put in storage or auctioned off or what have you. They didn't have a lot.
No, you're right.
Now they kind of get it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, Darth Vader's mask or
for sure.
Luke Skywalker's lightsaber or something. Like, these are $2 million now.
I went to an auction house here a few months ago, and they'd found Robert Shaw's shark gun.
Spear gun.
And it was the original from the movie, and it had been sitting in some storage unit.
Right.
And they were able to compare the wood grain, taking a high resolution
photo
from the movie, and put it next to the box that he opens and takes the spear gun out of. And it sold for like insane money. Insane money. It was the one he used, and I got to hold it. The guy was like, "You want?"
What do you think it sold for?
Oh, at least $1 million.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I got to look that up. Well, here's how little people cared about that.
Yeah.
When you buy a race car, sometimes it just shows up and gets delivered, and then other times it's got all sorts of spares.
Sure.
Like fenders and molds and
Sure.
engine blocks and stuff. Sometimes just stuff comes with a semi-truck full of junk.
Right.
And sometimes just shows up alone.
Right.
And I bought a Newman race car. It was a 2+2 Z car. Some picture of it out there somewhere. And the car got delivered. And it was like from the East Coast. And then at some point I was lifting up the back hatch and there was a box, a cardboard box, and had Newman's fire suit and helmet.
Wow.
And it like very well worn, probably wore it for numerous seasons.
Wow.
You can see the pictures of like,
Wow.
oh, he drove it. He wore it in 86, 87, 88, or whatever.
Wow.
Stuff's worth something.
Yeah.
Back then, I didn't negotiate to get a helmet and a fire suit. I just said, I'll buy the car. And the guy just threw the stuff in the back of the car.
Wow.
Like, there you go.
Wow.
So it didn't mean anything back then. Now,
Yeah. Now that's an extra $1 million right there.
no,
You must.
it's not
what's
$1 million
your,
bucks.
What's your insurance for these?
It's not $1 million
14 cars, by the way.
The thing about cars, if you have a car that is an Audi, 2015 Audi,
Right.
They go, all right, here's what the Blue Book says is worth $21,000. It's insured to $21,000.
Right.
If you have a car that's sort of one of one,
Right.
then you have to do an agreed upon value.
Right.
So, because how else can we figure out what this car's worth?
Sure.
And then there's also no insurance when you're racing them.
No.
There's only insurance off the track.
Right.
Once you get onto the track,
that's
they
all-
go,
that's it, yeah.
there is no.
Have you taken them out?
I've raced them, all of them.
No way.
Yeah.
How much fun was that?
It's kind of crazy. It's fun. I mean, it's like, I don't know, Andrew, let's see, Paul Newman, 2+2, Nissan, a Z car, Laguna Seca. I'll show you. I have one that I like a lot, which has the headrest, the
Right.
bump stop or
Right.
whatever. It's not
Yeah,
really a
sure.
headrest. It says PLN in red, white, and
That's
blue.
pretty cool.
And I think his wife embroidered
Yeah.
that and puts it on the thing. Thing's got his name on it. It's got his
great.
old sponsorships and,
Great.
all that kind of stuff. And I
Here we are.
race them
Wow.
all the time. Yes, that's one of them. Let's see a vid of Laguna Seca and me that for the historics. But yeah, I definitely get into it with that shit. It's
Now
fun.
you have to maintain it, right? You have to turn it over. You have to take it out. You can't just sit there.
Yeah, you got to start prepping. Like, let's see, that car was on a dyno. Just do that car. Do 2+2 ZX Newman dyno. Let's see what comes up. Scariest thing is the dyno. It's not.
What's a dyno?
Oh, sorry. It's a dynamometer. It's the rolling.
Of the wheels?
Yeah, where you chain
Right,
it
right,
down,
right, right,
and then they put it
Right.
on to see how much horsepower you're
Right,
making
right,
to the
right.
rear wheels.
Wow.
For some reason, at speed, it's not that scary, but on the dynamometer, I don't know why that was the scary
So,
part.
Do you take them out, or you have someone go and rotate them, or do you like to go out and race them now and again yourself, or what?
I race them every year.
Where?
Laguna
okay.
Seca. Let's see. This is in preparation to go to Laguna Seca, probably. But
I'm actually going to bump that to 3,500. So, I want
So you can
to
see
take
the
it to
PLN in the
3,500
headrest.
exact.
And you got no
Hold it
helmet.
steady. 3,500.
Nothing.
And then I'll lock it. And then by the time
well,
it comes down,
I'm chained down to a.
Oh, this
To a
is
dynamo.
Oh, this is the
I'm
dynamo.
chained to a
Okay, I see,
dynamometer.
I see. Yeah. Wow. That's got some. It's got some torque in there.
Oh, it'll.
Got to drive it. Fourth gear. What gear? Fourth.
Yeah, there's a whole procedure, but they're going to try to figure out. You can go toward the end.
A
Let's
Ford
see.
Cortina can do that.
Yeah, I know. Go to wherever it's going.
That's
Spin. There you go.
hilarious.
That's good. Let's hit it there. Let's see what happens.
Wow. Original wheels, or you?
You'll usually upgrade. You'll upgrade the tires and the wheels because they degrade.
Wow.
It's scary. The dynamometer's scary. The track's not that bad, but I don't know, maybe like 550 horsepower or something.
What fun!
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. You'd like it. I mean, you've been through all the driving stuff,
100%, 100%. Oh my God! Well, you have to let me know when you're going out next. I'll come check it out.
Well, there's a problem because it's going to be in about 2 months. It's going to be at Laguna Seca.
Okay.
So
that I can't do, unfortunately. But the next one,
because you're shooting,
I'm shooting. But the next one,
are you shooting more M.I.A.?
No,
you're shooting a movie or another TV
it's
show.
Something that's under wraps. Yeah.
All right, but after you can tell me.
Correct.
And you can give me Tom Cruise's number.
100%.
Helmet and fire suit from that era.
It's a fire sale.
From when he was hanging out with Newman. And Newman, by the way, was driving that car.
Right. Okay.
And Tom was driving like showroom stock or something,
Right.
like in a
Right.
class that was lower down. All right. So what did Robert Shaw's spear gun sell for, by the way? 300 something?
Is it 600,000 or something?
I'd never even heard of that one, but kind of makes sense.
Kind of, because it was one of a kind, and, for some reason, Universal didn't hold on to it.
Harpoon gun Mark II sold for $327,000 in the spring of 2026.
Okay.
Which is not $1 million, but it's still a lot of money for a pretty rando piece of movie memorabilia. M.I.A. is the show. It's on Peacock as we speak. Top 10 Nielsen.
Yeah.
I asked my grandmother. She circled it in the TV guide. She highlighted. Carrie, thanks for joining me today.
Appreciate it.
And
I got to interview you.
Hope to see you soon.
This is great.
I know. I feel guilty, but we'll be right back. American Giant. I'm a dependable guy. I got 1 million tools lying around and prep kits for nearly every situation. The things we depend on most are the things that help us stay ready for anything. A great example is a good hoodie that will last for years to come. The American Giant Classic Full Zip Hoodie is styled for everyday comfort and crafted for a lifetime of durability. I wear it when I'm lounging around on the couch. It's soft, comfortable, and has lasted me a long time. And I'm a big fan of this. Every American Giant piece is made in America. It's the kind of difference you'll feel and appreciate for years to come. It's American Giant, right, Dawson?
Stay ready for anything with the American Giant Classic Full Zip and save 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com when you use code ADAM at checkout. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com, code ADAM.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Yeah, man. O'Reilly. Love these guys. Going to get into it with O'Reilly because I got a car race coming up in about 6 or 7 weeks. It's time for prep. You want to keep your car on the road? You do it with O'Reilly. There's not many issues I can't figure out, but if I can't, I always go to O'Reilly. They've got thousands of parts in stock, either in store or online, so you never worry if you're in a jam. They'll also test your battery for free, and if it needs to be replaced, they'll help you find the right one. Whether you're a car aficionado or an auto novice, you'll see the employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts are helpful and friendly. O'Reilly is your one-stop shop for all things auto do-it-yourself. It's O'Reilly, right, Dawson?
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit us at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Adam. Jeff from Florida saying hi. Electronic freeway sign. Just read. America is 250, but the speed limit is not. Informative and patriotic. Gotta love that. Something California would never do. Get it all.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
I don't know how informative it is.
Yeah.
I am astonished at what percentage of people don't use their blinkers. And
Yeah.
and it happens a lot where like people are coming at me on a side street and I'm like, are you coming straight or are you turning? And I don't know. And then they turn and I'm like, you could have, there's a thing.
Yeah.
You could use it.
Yeah.
It would help. It would prevent a lot of accidents.
But hey, America's 250.
But they never use your blinker.
No.
Just use your blinker.
If it steers, it clears.
It would remind people. Right. So, that would be good. Use your blinker, but instead we got click it or ticket or slow for the cone zone.
And get in the intersection if you're taking an unprotected left turn. Get into the intersection if you're taking an unprotected left.
Yes. Get into the intersection. Here's something driving-wise, Dawson. Now, you guys don't ride motorcycles and probably didn't ride. I mean, Chuck, I know you're on the circuit for a while, but that was unlimited. We're talking 2-stroke, 250s, 400 Elsinore stuff, circuit. We're talking arena stuff. I'm talking about just commuting.
Those were my glory days.
I know. But what I'm saying is you, you getting air on whoop-dees or hitting the big double monster jump or just fucking throwing a rooster tail at Jeremy McGrath back in the day.
Right.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Right,
with the full FMF sponsorships and all the shit that went along with your career. I'm just talking about street riding here.
Yeah.
Now, street bikes have a horn. Do you guys know this? Street bikes
Makes sense.
have a horn. It's a little thumb off the grip. I think it's on the left side. I'm trying to think. The throttle's the right.
Right.
By the way, if I see anybody celebrating in the end zone with the double throttle hand, I know that upsets you, Chuck. I know that pisses you off. You weren't mixing 2-stroke at age 5, so some asshole wide receiver could do the double throttle hand celebration in the end zone. I know that.
Never again.
Never again. I think you can look it up. On a street bike is the horn on the left. It's a horn.
It's just a button.
Just a button. And it's not air horn. It's beep, beep.
Yeah.
Every single guy who cuts lanes, who goes through the traffic, cuts in between. I'm in LA, so every single day on my commute, there's somebody cutting through the center of the lane there.
Right.
Parting the cars. They only throw revs. They throw revs to let you know they're coming.
When they could be using the horn.
The horn would work.
Yeah.
Universally, all right. On a street motorcycle, the horn button is universally located on the left. So you can figure everything out because they wouldn't put it on the throttle side.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, if you're a professional wide receiver in the NFL, you wouldn't know what side that horn was on because you've got 2 throttles.
That's right.
All right. It's universally on the left, and I think it's a Department of Transportation built into every street bike. You can't sell a street bike without a horn, just like you can't sell a car without a horn.
Okay.
You have to have a horn.
Makes sense.
Right. The horn would work. It would work, but I think there's a machismo factor. They throw revs to let you know they're coming, and then if you screw with them and they get past you, they'll throw an angry. They'll redline it.
Oh, yeah. And if you don't know it's coming, it'll scare the shit out of you. Mm-hmm. I think probably it has the machismo point, I think, has a lot to do with it because that is a very wimpy horn. Mm-hmm. No one wants to.
Yeah, it's a wimpy horn, but now when you were riding for Kawasaki, that was a full-blown dirt bike. There was no license plate. There was no headlights. There's no turn indicators. I know because Chuck's looking confused.
No, he's sponsored.
That was a full sponsored
Sponsored by
2-stroke,
Fox.
250.
Right.
Yeah, Fox suspension, all of it. You had all the sponsorships back then. This is not what we're talking about.
Of course.
We're talking about a street bike with the horn, with the button on the left. But here's the thing. The exhaust is facing the wrong direction. because they're coming up on you and they're throwing revs, and the exhaust faces the back of the bike.
Right, so that's where the revs are going.
The sound is kind of going out the back.
Right.
If you are standing behind a bike and that guy throws revs, you're going to feel it. If you're 20 feet in front of the bike, not as loud. You can hear it, not as loud. They'd be better off with the horn, which is going forward. But they'll never do the horn.
No.
And they don't have to do anything with the horn because their left hand is already on the grip. You just use your thumb. You don't have to raise your hand or do anything. Do we have what that horn sounds like? Now, I remember it from some of the street bikes I had, and it's not. Now, once again, Chuck, all those years when you'd be in the Super Bowl of motocross and they turned the LA Coliseum into an outdoor track, and you'd come down the turnstile and drop 80 feet back into the stadium. This is not that.
No, of course. These are the hood rats.
Yeah. These are street guys.
These are not your Supercross days of yore.
Yeah. This is not. These are different guys. Okay. So, but they'll never use the horn. And
No, they won't.
And I think it's a pussy thing. I think they don't. I think you ride a bike. A lot of it is look, machismo, vibe. Otherwise, you wouldn't be wearing a black helmet. You'd wear an orange helmet so people could see you, right? And black vest and blacked out, murdered out everything. No one can see you. Doesn't make sense, and your head gets hot too. But either way, I think the horn is considered a puss move.
I agree. I think the guy...
You got it? That's it? What is that off of? A what? Now,
The guy most likely to use his horn would be the guy on that Traveler BMW cross-country bike.
Yeah,
he
that
also
guy
wears the orange vest.
That guy's not trying to score points.
No, not
that
at
guy's
all.
not trying to get his dick sucked.
Yeah.
That guy's not coming into honky tonks with his vest and everything. That guy's literally European and is trying to traverse America
Right.
on his BMW. Yeah. Now, also, Chuck, I know you did some cafe racing in Europe back in the day. I know you had your Kawasaki two-stroke triple. This ain't that.
Yeah, that was always below me anyway.
Yeah, this is stripped. Your stuff was stripped for lightness and ran off a two-stroke and everything. This is a street bike. This is an unmodified street bike. All right, so they all have horns, and it would work.
It would work.
It would work. You would get my attention. It's facing forward. It's loud enough so I'll hear it, and it would work. Instead, you're just throwing revs everywhere. Also, I'm never sure if you're on the right side or the left side when you're throwing revs. It's a little tough. I can sort of hear somebody's movement. I think the horn would help. A little more directional for me. All right. So I was traveling last weekend, and it's on a Southwest flight, and they had a retirement party for the pilot. And
On the plane?
it was evidently a big deal that this guy was retiring. And it was the whole discussion of it. And then he gave the soliloquy, and then everyone gave a testimonial, and people were clapping.
This is during the flight safety briefing?
This is like
or-
before the flight, during the flight. Like this is all over the place. This is all over. The fire truck gave him the one-gun salute when we landed in Reno, like firing the big rooster tail out there of water. It was all honking the horn. Cops lined up. Big deal. I don't know why. Retirement, I don't know why it's a bigger deal to retire as a pilot than it is as a school teacher or whatever. But anyway, it's fine. But here's what I don't like. When they do the, he's been flying for 34 years. This is his very last flight. He'll not, all I do is I keep picturing that scene in The Simpsons with McBain. And McBain is with his black partner. His black partner's like, I'm retiring today, and this is it. My last day as a cop. And I even bought this boat. And he shows him a picture of the boat, and it says live forever on the back of it. Then all of a sudden, Mendoza motorcycle come in to shoot him. He dies, and McBain's like, Mendoza! So That's the reel that's running through my head when we're on the ground before we take off. And this guy's like, I've been flying for 35 years, and this is my last flight. Once we get to Reno, and I'm like, okay, you're jinxing all of this shit.
Yeah.
I'm picturing McBain yelling Mendoza. You guys remember that scene? Oh. This is, if you want to know what I'm thinking while he's talking about all his years flying with Southwest, I'm thinking about this scene. I just keep repeating it in my head.
Hey, McBain, you keep eating them hot links, you're never gonna make it to a pension.
Come on, live a little, Scoy.
No, thank you. Got me a future, partner. I'm 2 days away from retirement. My daughter's graduating from college.
Little Susie's growing up.
And as soon as we nail Mendoza, my old lady and I are gonna sail around the world like we always wanted. We just christened the boat.
They'll live forever.
Yes, sir. Everything's gonna be just Damn. McBain,
Yes?
I'm not gonna make it.
Oh, stop talking crazy.
No. Just do one thing for me. Get Mendoza.
Mendoza!
I'm just sitting in the plane, and I just keep running this back in my head like 13 times in a row while he's talking about his last flight. He's going off to retirement.
Would it, if the plane started to go down on landing, started to be some trouble, would part of you go, you deserved this, buddy? Even though I'm going to burn up and die, you deserved this.
I would just yell Mendoza as loud as I could. That was all I would do. So, also, interesting. So, oh boy, did I jinx myself with the TSA. So, I was traveling with Andrew, and Andrew had my boarding pass on his phone along with his boarding pass, but my assistant had forgot to send me my boarding pass, so I didn't have my boarding pass. I just got thrown off of TSA.
Correct, yes.
And I had to fight like hell to get it back. And so it was funny. I gave this whole thing before I left. I said to my assistant, we got TSA back, right? Yeah, we got it. Good, because I don't want to get screwed in this airport. Well, we did get it back, but I didn't have my boarding pass. But I had Andrew. But Andrew was not TSA pre. So I was like, I'll just go with you through regular TSA, because there was no line.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, I didn't get my TSA, but that's it. And I was walking through it, and I was like, the only downside to going through regular TSA instead of TSA pre is sometimes you have to take your shoes off, but it's unclear for me where and when.
Sure.
But I'm looking at everyone in front of me, and no one's taking their shoes off. So I go, okay, this is good. And then I go through, and I go through the metal detector, and it does something that's done to me probably twice in the last 4 or 5 times. It suggests I'm smuggling something around the groin area. It's there's never anything hidden around your shins. It's always the groin. It's the guy, it's like somewhere between your groin. It's like I got a kilo where my taint is, according to the machine.
Right.
Or a pistol or something. It's never
in the
shin
armpit.
or knee,
Yeah.
or it's never elbow.
Right.
It's always groin. Yeah, what is that? What's always so then I got the dude. And then the dude goes, I gotta pat you down. And then they give you I'm gonna use the back of my hand on your nutsack. I don't know why the back of the hand's such a relief, but all right. So I'm doing the back, and then I'll do around the buttocks, and I'll do the inner thigh, but I'm going to use the back of the hand. But you can, by the way, women can request a lady. I'd like to request a lady myself, if you think about it. I mean,
Hey, don't worry about the back of the hand. Use the whole hand, lady. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm part of the mouth.
Yeah.
So they use the back of the hand. We were fucking insane. So, by the way, everybody at that airport recognized me. Like that, all the security is like, "Hey, Adam," they all said hi, but it doesn't matter. Machine said no, so I got to get the back of the hand. Now, then we can do this privately, but we're just adding time to this,
Right.
And also, while he's giving the speech about the back of the hand, I go, just go ahead, just get started. So then he does the whole back of the hand thing, and there's nothing. There's nothing. And the good news is I'm wearing the same pants. I'm wearing linen, cotton, a little lighter than sweatpants. So there's nothing. Nothing in the pockets, nothing anywhere. He goes, I go, what do you think's setting that machine off? Because this has happened to me a couple of times. And he goes, maybe it's the pants. And I said, pants? It's just linen drawstring. Like, you can't get any lighter in the pants department. I go, what do you mean the pants?
Like
how would the
tassels of the waistband?
How would the pants set it off? And he goes, I don't know. I gotta have anything. That it was akin to when we were flying during COVID, and I was sitting in first class, and I was like, "Hey, can I get a lemon wedge with that drink?" It's like, "We're not doing lemon." I go, "Why not?" She goes, COVID. And I go, "What's lemon got to do with COVID?" And she's like, "I don't know." So I mean, a lot of people bring shit up that they don't have a follow up to, but I guess I'm the only person that follows up the question. Like, what do the pants have to do with setting off the metal detector? And by the way, I'm going to have to go nude according to you, because you don't get any lighter than this.
You're the first. He's told 100 people it's probably the pants. You're the first one.
Well,
to come back with a question.
I told him it was the pants, and it stopped me before, but I wasn't wearing these pants. I was wearing other pants. So maybe it's all pants. But anyway, so he gives me the back of the hand, nutsack grab, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, well, we can go about our way. And at least I got to keep my shoes on. And then he goes, we got to put the shoes through the x-ray.
But the shoes didn't alert.
I know. I go, why? What's the shoe? Why the shoes? And he goes, protocol. I go, why? Why are we putting the shoes? Well, I guess in their mind, if I already got flagged, then I'm not just an innocent civilian. Something's going on. Maybe there's something in the shoe. Either way, my dream of not taking my shoes off was squashed by setting off the metal detector on the machine for not having any metal on me. So that was fun. Then my least favorite person. I don't know if you guys know a lot of these. I get angry at these people. I don't know if you do. A lot of it is a language. There's a little language barrier. A lot of it's a little language barrier. The other part of it is a feminine thing, you know. So when we landed, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what. Redundancy drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. And the sort of weird question ones drive me nuts. I've told you that, you know, when Mike August goes to Nick Santora's Lexus, points at a ding in the fender and goes, "What happened here?" I'm like, just shut up. Just shut up. Who cares? It's something. Make him relive it. I just got the car detailed. My daughter borrowed it, and she scraped against the... Okay, we satisfied? Everyone happy? Something happened. I hate when I especially when it gets redundant. So we're sitting on the Southwest. We landed in Burbank early morning.
Was there thunderous applause for the pilot, by the way?
No, we're going the other way.
Okay.
So that guy retired. We got the retired guy on the way out.
Retired in Reno.
So I said to, I handed the valet slip to Andrew, and I said, call them. They'll bring their car around. So he called them, and then we walked up to the window. And Andrew, who's evidently never valeted an automobile in his life, had thrown the stub away.
Oh.
So we didn't have the stub. But there was no line, and there's one middle-aged Latina chick behind the glass, right? So then we walked up, and then this. And it's my favorite part of life. Hey, yeah, we just called the car to be brought up. It's a white Audi Q8. We don't have the stub, though. You don't have the stub?
Yeah.
No. You're supposed to have yes, understood. It's something
if you don't
happened
have
to
the stub,
to
then,
the stub.
you know,
we
we
need
can't
the
get your car.
stub.
Yeah.
We look at the stub. Yeah.
You're
well,
supposed
we
to
don't.
hold on to
we
that.
don't have the stub. What happened?
Why don't you have the stub?
Andrew's a bad person. He's bad.
But
and
he knows.
Threw it away.
He knows
he
you're
threw it
supposed to hold
away
it.
because he knew we needed the stub, but he's such a bad person. We don't have the stub. Just fucking do something with the computer, would you please? I know you want the stub.
Yeah, but you
I
need
get
the
it.
stub.
I know, that's all. And they keep going, and I always just go, no stub. Now start looking. Whatever it is, let's turn the page on the stub. There's no stub. Sorry, I wish I had a time machine so I could punch Andrew's mom in the belly when she was pregnant. So Andrew would never be born. So then I would have this stub. But we don't have it. Mm-hmm. Shit happens, bitch. I don't know. Now, use your computer, type in the make of the car. I'll give you my name.
Right, but you do understand that if you don't have the stub, it makes it more difficult.
They don't even say that part.
Yeah.
They just go, "Where's the stub?"
Right.
And there's a part of it. There's a part of it is a chick think, where they're going to take a little. There's a little punitive part.
There's a little pound of flesh.
My Jewish
ounce of flesh.
My Jewish grandfather used to do that when he was old. I'd go visit him, and we'd sit there, and we'd watch Match Game or something, and then at some point I'd go, "Okay, Grandpa, well, I better be getting on back home now." And he'd go, "So you're leaving?" And I'd go, "Yes,
Yeah.
I'm leaving you," which I just said, but
So you gotta
I have
go,
to say
huh?
it again. I have to say it again because it's going to make me feel just a little bit bad. All right, so the ticket stub, gone. Pat down. Retirement. I was trying to explain to Andrew, I was trying to explain to him the movie. Andrew likes movies and watches movies. And I tried to explain to him some of the crazy 70s movies. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those crazy 70s movies, I didn't even know what they're about, and I saw them. It's somebody has a cool car, somebody peels out,
Yep.
something with a cop motorcycle.
Yep.
Somebody gets thrown through plate glass, like maybe in slow motion.
There's a bar fight.
Then there's love.
Yeah.
But it's sort of love
Right.
on the run. It's forbidden. So I was trying to show him Aloha, Bobby and Rose.
Okay.
The movie, which was a major theatrical release with Elton John songs in it, no less. I said, watch this trailer. You tell me if you know what the fuck this movie's about. But it was in theaters. I saw it in theaters in 1974. We'll play it to you, but I'll tie it to something.
Yeah. They
Diana
had
Hull is Rose.
Carnival 9.
She's got an urge to travel.
An urge.
She's got an urge to
One
travel.
Saturday night, they became lovers in the city of dreams.
Sunset Strip in Hollywood, USA, home of the stars, baby.
Bobby and Rose, two California kids with a fantasy of paradise.
Take me to Hawaii.
Can't drive the Camaro to Hawaii, bitch.
Let's go.
Aloha, Bobby and Rose. A new kind of love story in the world of top 40. 0 to 60.
Is that possible?
Hardstyle and heavy metal.
Oh,
Now he's in a funny movie is. It was a major release. It was in movie theaters. It cleared Elton John songs
And ELP.
and Emerson, Lake and
Yeah.
Palmer, and I have no idea what this movie is about. But that's fine. I was explaining this to Andrew, but then I was also explaining, I just watched Joe Biden make a speech at the DNC, and I have no idea what he's talking about either. So it's old and it's new again, and I'll just play some. I mean, I get what they're saying. We stand up, we fight, we stand up, we got to push back. It doesn't mean, I get Hawaii, Elton John, Camaro, I get cops, I get it.
It all
Love,
makes sense.
It's all words we recognize. Just
Yes.
when you put them together, nothing happens.
On the Sunset Strip.
That's right.
Yeah.
Here's Biden. I love when he looks like
I know the story of the Democratic Party. I've seen it times of triumph and trouble.
both teams.
Because I've lived it, I also know the story of America, like many of you. It's a constant push and pull between peril and possibility. It's a battle that's never truly over.
Some
Well, look.
ladies just got off a Carnival cruise and they want to make themselves heard.
She probably has the breakaway weave, though, so
yeah.
be careful.
Well, I can't sugarcoat it.
Oh.
These are indeed dark days. Let's remember. We are one of the only countries in the world that's come face to face with every crisis we've faced stronger than we went into it. Every single time we come out stronger than we went in.
The great words of
Time
Bobby
again
and
for our
Rose.
history.
What?
We Americans have some of the better angels of our nature. Brought our country back from the brink. I believe with every fiber of my being that with your help, we're going to do that again this November.
Okay. Aloha, Bobby and Rose.
Anyway, he's not saying anything. Bobby and Rose didn't say anything 52 years ago.
Right.
And we're kind of in the weird realm of not saying anything. He doesn't. Now, also, which I would find wildly unsatisfying if I were him, but I don't think he knows. Although, remember he had stage 4 cancer a year and a half ago?
Didn't he? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what happened with that and how that worked. But another thing to get into, and then we'll get started with some news. Just so you guys know, let's just be accurate here. The earthquake in Venezuela is unreinforced concrete.
Correct.
That is the problem. You build something out of steel, it flexes. You build something out of wood, it flexes. You build something out of concrete with a bunch of rebar in it, it'll flex a bit or it won't come down. When you don't put a bunch of rebar in it, then it doesn't flex and it crumbles, and that's what you got with Venezuela. And by the way, most of those nations do almost everything out of block and concrete. You don't see a lot of framing and a lot of steel. So that's what happened to Venezuela.
Right.
Now, then you can go, well, Adam, you're the one who's always pushing about red tape. Maybe Venezuela had a little red tape, which is true. You got to have some codes, and you have to have some engineering, and you have to bring it up to a certain point. What I'm saying is one house in Malibu doesn't need as much concrete as a high-rise in Venezuela. It's just a single home. So, yes, codes are good. I'm not saying abolish codes or engineering. I'm saying just stop. Know when to stop. Because when you keep going,
everything.
Well, when you keep going, that's when the money just keeps going. But the Venezuela thing was crazy.
Yeah, they pulled a father and son out of rubble recently. I guess they've been in there for a couple of days, but pulled them out of a rubble thing that you can see in the back when that building goes down. It looked like that. What they're still pulling people out of.
Yeah. So again, what happens is the buildings that were built after 1967, when they had their last earthquake, got a code and didn't come down. It was the ones that built before then that did come down.
We're due.
We're due, man.
We're way overdue.
I know. You know what we don't talk about anymore? Every time it got hot, we talked about earthquake weather.
Earthquake weather.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, there's no such thing.
But we had that. All right, let's do a little news with yous.
All right, well, crazy things happening over in the UK. Britons have been ordered to remove their air conditioning from their homes. Apparently, the country is baking at 40 degrees Celsius, which is 104 degrees Fahrenheit. There's a fresh net zero crackdown, so officials have told residents to take down their cooling units over concerns about carbon dioxide emissions.
So weird. It's a weird era. So it's kind of interesting. With stuff like this, you know, our entire civilization has been chasing technology and things that would make us safer and more comfortable and things of that nature. So we chased it, and then we got there, and now we're retarding ourselves, even though we have it, We're punishing ourselves thanks to Greta Thunberg and Al Gore and the rest of the retards. But here's the thing. It's kind of that way with food. We're like, we spent entire civilization trying to eat. That's all anyone wanted to do is try to eat. And now there's too much food. And we actually have to buy treadmills and scales and fucking take Ozempic. So we're basically doing with food what we're doing with air conditioning and power. We have it now, but somehow we think we're abusing it. And now we got to get the Ozempic, which is basically no air conditioning, UK, which is, by the way, a game changer. But I don't know. It's a handful of narcissistic white retards that think they're going to overcompensate with their kilowatts and save us from whatever China and India and whoever still burning dung is up to.
Exactly. Your air conditioner in London is not going to do nearly as much damage as any one thing they're doing in China or India right now.
I don't even know anymore if there's a straight line between humans and energy and carbon and whatever and CO2 and global warming. I've heard the claims, but every time they make a claim, it gets disproven. Al Gore didn't help his cause any by coming out with a movie 20 years ago that was completely full of bullshit. That didn't help his cause.
Right. No, they say air conditioning should be used as a last resort only. They're appealing to homeowners. One guy had two. One guy who had two cooling units on his property, and the city council determined there was no justification for the equipment, and that it breached the authorities' cooling hierarchy policy. Apparently, it's not just climate change, it's social justice.
Oh, because there are people that don't have air conditioning, like the Carollas in the 70s and 80s. Jesus
See,
Christ.
but back then in the 70s, you could leave your doors and windows open and not worry about people breaking into your house as much.
Trying to think. No air. The worst no air situation I had was my dad bought a $13,000 A-frame in North Hollywood.
Yep.
Not too far from where you are. And it was a one-bedroom, one-bath. But it was an A-frame, uninsulated. You could see the 2x4s in the roofing. And there's a little loft. And I slept in the little loft. But all the heat would just rise on up. And
no window. There was no window up there.
No, that house, that little loft would be a greenhouse up there.
Yeah.
And I just lay up there and fucking bake every night. Then I think living in the garage was tough too because there was no air and there was no insulation in the garage. Garages are always hotter or colder than the house because there's no insulation or anything.
Yes.
But little did my dad know, the neighbor had a pool.
Right.
And I used to get in that pool every night. Get my core down, man. Lower myself, hold myself underwater off the diving board. Get my core down about 2 in the morning and come back. Now you can't dry off completely because you'll ruin it. You'll undo what you did.
Absolutely.
I had to lay down on my bed sopping wet. Yeah, those are some good times.
Now, didn't Keir Starmer just resign?
Yes.
Is the rest of the government going to catch up to his resignation? I don't understand why they are still so gung-ho on enforcing these policies that none of their citizenry accepts or likes or agrees with.
Well, I mean, they're doing it by importing tons of Muslims and stuff, too.
Right.
They're just hell-bent on ruining. Like, I don't know. They're hell-bent on ruining their society.
Yeah.
Canada's kind of trailing behind, and we're a little bit behind Canada. Although, in California, we may be ahead of Canada.
I believe so.
I'm just saying, as a nation, in terms of importing tons of undocumented whatever and destroying your society, that's what they're into. Because they're progressive. And they look at it as good. Well, then when we called a racist. It's a real scam, the whole racist thing.
It is.
Because it works perfectly.
It works perfectly.
You import a bunch of third worlders, they rip everyone off, and then if you say anything, you're racist. It's perfect. All right, what else you got?
Let's do more Joe Biden stuff. during that speech, apparently, Joe Biden called his Oval Office successor a loser, accused him of obsessing over vanity projects at the White House and at the Kennedy Center. Biden also ticked off a list of initiatives. It's construction of what Biden alleged is an arch in his own honor, and hiring his own pool guy to fix the reflecting pool. Whoa, what a loser, he said. We may have audio. The 47th president has a penchant for renovations and construction. He consistently argued he's working to beautify the nation's capital. Well, let's see what Biden had to say.
Look, it's not just his deliberate distortion and destruction of NATO and choosing Putin as over American allies, or the fact that he's diminished our standing in the eyes of the world more than any president in history has. It's not just his vanity projects, tearing down the east wing of the White House, making room for his ballroom.
Come on, folks.
Putting his name on the Kennedy Center.
Malarkey.
Building an arch. Wow. In his own honor. Even hiring his own pool guy to fix the reflecting pool.
Russ? Is that Russ?
Yeah.
Whoa.
He drives a Chevy Love?
Yep.
With the camper shell?
No camper shell, because he's got all the pool gear in the back. He ended up getting rid of
here's
that.
being positive. Everything for Democrats is symbolic. It's all symbolic.
Yeah.
It's all like, it's cruel. He's mean. He's doing a thing. It doesn't make any difference. The fucking reflecting pool, whatever he's doing is not have any actual impact on anybody ever.
You're right.
So start focusing. You, old man, you let in 15 million people into this fucking country, and we have no idea who they are, and some are terrorists, others are rapists and killers. That's impactful. The reflecting pool doesn't make a difference to anybody. No one. You understand? It's all this, but in a weird way, it's all about being mean or cruel stuff. These are all just words. It's all just, and by the way, you're going to stand up and fight, and Bette Midler, you're going to haul your saggy 81-year-old ass out to the gate to meet him there with Jane Fonda, who's 140 years old, and you're going to fight him at the gate. It's all symbolism. It's all talk. By the way, that's why they love Hollywood. Well, they love all the talk.
Right.
They don't actually love the work. The work is building shit.
Right. Now, he said that Trump has lowered our standing in the world. Actually, it was the media who's lowered our standing in the world, because have you noticed, have you seen any of these stories about everyone coming to America for the World Cup?
Yes.
Citizens of all these European nations are saying, we were told not to come here. We were told you guys were the worst country in the world.
Yeah, well, and by the way, here's the other thing, the standing in the world. Of course, when you're just trying to rip us off and exploit our laws and import your criminals, you're going to get pissed when the new warden shows up and goes, no more of this bullshit.
Right.
And so, yes, the world, which is ripping us off, essentially, we're paying for every war. We're fighting every war. UN and all you guys are supposed to be doing shit. You never do any of it. And now you got a new sheriff in town that's going, hey, we're not going to do this anymore. And you're upset. Germany, Trump told Germany during Trump's first time in office, you guys are switching to wind and solar. You're going to be dependent on Russian oil, and you're going to fuck up your economy, and you're going to give a bunch of money to Russia. And he ruined his standing with the world's nation. Germany were laughing at him. They didn't like him.
Yeah.
Except for he's telling them the fucking truth.
Right.
And then they fucked up their economy by switching to solar and renewable, and now they're sucking off Russian oil again. So, yeah, your dentist is going to give you news that makes him unpopular with you, because they're going to tell you stop chewing tobacco, brush your fucking teeth, and you have three cavities. And you can get angry at him, but he's just telling you the truth.
And you got it's just getting the NATO countries to pay their fair share, which is a big thing. And isn't the new leader of NATO, isn't he the guy that says daddy's back in the room? Isn't he the guy who has ultra respect for Trump?
I think so. Look, I'm sure Iran liked Obama a lot better than they liked Trump.
Yes.
Because he was dropping off cash and Trump's dropping off bombs.
Yes.
Okay, so I get it. You've angered them. Right. By the way, if half the world is not pissed at us, we're not doing our job. That's the way I look at it. But still killing themselves to get here.
Right, right.
What's next?
Well, gas prices are starting to go down, except in California. We're set to pay even more at the pump starting starting today. As another gas tax increase takes effect. It's a 2.2 cent per gallon hike.
You know what I realized?
Which would raise the total to 63.4 cents per gallon. That's 63.4 cents per gallon.
You know what I've realized with Newsom? He's unshameable.
No, yeah.
He literally goes out there and he goes, these are Putin's price hikes. This is all because, and they're like, this is not because of the Iran war, because you were the most expensive in the nation before the Iran war. It's because Exxon and Mobil are gouging California. Okay, we did a study on that. They're not gouging California. The study said you have too many taxes and too many regulations. I'm going to yell at Trump about gas prices.
Right.
Like, you think Gavin Newsom would just shut the fuck up about gas prices? It's 100% California. It's 100% on you. You're the one who's doing the gouging. Exxon has nothing to do with it. They're just following your regulations. Trump has nothing to do with it. And if you don't believe me, then just simply go to Nevada and see what it is for a gallon of gas, or go to Indiana, or go anywhere, because I go all over the fucking country, and it's not this.
Well, he's betting on the fact that everyone in his party absolutely hates Trump. And that is the only reason that they need for anything he does. When that facade starts to break and there's nothing else there.
Yes. Well, also, you guys hate gas. You were the guy who wanted to outlaw gasoline engines by 2030. You hate gas. When do you care about gas?
Guess how much diesel we're using in California to import gas from other countries who don't manufacture it as cleanly as we do. It's in direct opposition to the save the planet thing that they're going after.
Simply Safe in the U.S. There is a break-in every 26 seconds. That means somewhere right now an intruder is getting closer. Most security systems only alert you after a break-in has already started, and by then it's too late. That's why I chose Simply Safe to secure my home using the Outdoor Camera Series 2 and advanced AI alerts. Simply Safe's U.S.-based live agents identify threats to your property and help deter them. This stops crime before it starts. Listen, I live in Psycho L.A., so Simply Safe has given me a lot more peace of mind. With everything that's going on, especially in this town, I sleep a little better at night knowing Simply Safe has got my back. 2 eyes. Simply Safe, right, Dawson?
We want you to experience the same peace of mind we do, which is why we've partnered with Simply Safe to offer an exclusive discount for our listeners. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/Adam. That's half off at simplysafe.com/Adam. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Hello, and welcome to Pluto Phone. If you know the name of the movie you'd like to see, just stream it for free on Pluto TV, where all your blockbuster favorites are landing all summer long. Catch Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy.
Fantastic.
Men in Black, 1 through 3.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mean Girls.
Shut up.
Titanic.
I'm the king of the world.
And so much more. For showtimes, press nothing. They're free 24/7.
That is so fetch.
On Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
So one more point here on gas prices in California. In 2017, California voters passed the taxes to raise the state's fuel cost to help fund road, highway, and transit projects.
Yeah, that's right.
And I believe we're one of the worst states for roads.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. So we're always at the bottom for road condition, like how many potholes and everything. Okay, the roads and the fuel, it is no different than the school system, which is we need to raise money so that we can, we pay amongst the most and get the worst results. There is no more straight line between money and results. And as a matter of fact, I think it's the opposite, certainly in California, but no, in all blue cities. Where they go, they spend the most per capita in the blue cities for the students, and they get the worst outcomes or worse outcomes than folks that spend a lot less money than they do. And it's the same with the roads, and it's the same with everything. And it's always this selling of like, we're just going to add a quarter cent to the sales tax so we can fund the schools and fund the roads.
Right. Well,
it's
you
always
don't like
to
schools?
fund something that you think you're going to use or that could be good, but nothing ever comes out the other end.
Nope.
And I don't know why people don't get that. I do think it's now just all NGOs and illegals and corruption and money. And I now believe that the Democrats are just some sort of machine that just brings in illegals from places unknown and launders money in their name. That's all I can come up with now. They don't seem to want any form of voter ID.
No.
They go after people who go after. The number one target for most Democrats is Nick Shirley and Elon Musk.
Yeah.
That's who they hate the most.
Yep.
Oh, they love George Floyd, and they hate Nick Shirley and Elon Musk. I don't know what else to conclude anymore.
Well, our wonderful governor, Gavin Newsom, said that he wouldn't even temporarily pause this gas tax because it would jeopardize the state's road repair programs.
Right,
he blames Trump for the war in Iran, sending fuel prices higher. He also said that if we suspend the gas tax, it's not going to lower prices at the pump. It would hand oil companies a massive tax break with no guarantees that a single cent would be passed on to drivers. What about in every other damn state?
Yeah. Well, here's an experiment. Why don't we try it for 2 weeks and see what happens?
Right.
Let's just give it a shot. Let's see what happens. I bet if you removed all the taxes, a cost of a hamburger would go down if you just removed the sales tax.
Sure.
So I say, let's give it a try. Newsom.
Let's give it a try.
By the way, there's a new deathbed mashup for me to listen to.
Okay.
My deathbed. We got the backup beeper. We've got the leaf blower.
Gas-powered leaf blower.
Gas-powered leaf blower. We've got the warning that they give you for the medications on television.
Reports, yeah.
And it's a traffic report. All right, let's listen.
You do not belong to a traffic law. It sucks because you've been wonderful. You've been wonderful for trans people, and you've been terrible. And you've been terrible.
It's a lot.
This guy.
Terrible. You've been terrible. You do not belong here anymore. God, and it breaks my fucking heart.
It breaks his heart.
It breaks my heart. As someone who wrote good legislation for years, it's so fucking terrible in Gaza.
Breaks
my
his heart
God.
about what's going on in Gaza. Yeah, well, they should stop aiding and abetting terrorists who want Jews dead. And then they could probably live in harmony. But they don't want to live in harmony because they want all the Jews to die. And the Jews are around them, and there's the problem. The Jews are smarter, and they're not engaged with a retarded religion, so they can actually make munitions and blow your ass up. That's a problem. You guys are living in the Stone Age, which means you got stones to throw. They have iron domes, and they have rockets, and they have technology, and then they kill you. But there's a way for it to stop, but you guys won't stop.
Right.
Because you're involved with a religion that wants all other people dead. So then we'll have to kill you. So don't fuck around with people that have better wish whoever you want dead. But if people have much better munitions than you do, then there's going to be a trouble. Because my favorite part is always at the beginning when they go, they're going to feel the swift sting of Allah's sword. Like, no, they're not. They're not going to feel anything. They're going to sit in a bunker and fire tomahawks and blow up your shit. That's what they're going to do. But if you guys I don't know. Do sane nations have tunnels dug all over the fucking nation? Like, who's got tunnels? Now, Mexico has tunnels because they're a narco state, and Palestine has tunnels because they're terrorists. There's a way to do it that doesn't involve tunnels, but you guys won't do that. So then you get blown up, and then you get dumb people who live in San Francisco who claim there's a genocide going up in a place where there's no genocide going on. But all right. And then you somehow got all the lefty politicians that go along with this weird genocidal.
But they have not gone far enough, so that's why they're getting all the heat.
The two-state solution.
My God.
Yes, they don't want that. They want dead Jews not to be left alone for a two-state solution to live in peace. By the way, Clinton said it. Bill Clinton went, I fucking offer those people everything they could take. They didn't want it.
Yeah.
Because they want to kill Jews, everybody. That's what they want, but they won't say it.
Right.
Well, actually, they do say it. So
yes,
there you
they
go.
do.
All right, what else we got?
All right, there's a person named Thomas Beatie. It's a transgender pioneer known for being the first, quote, pregnant man nearly 20 years ago. He's blasted the rush for life-altering, gender-affirming care for minors. Beatie, who is a woman...
Was born a woman?
Born a woman. Is now the parent of 4 children. I love how they say parent instead of mom or dad. But she says, or he, she, I'm glad I'm not a teenager today because if I were, I have a feeling I would have taken hormones at a young age and maybe had surgery much sooner. And I would not have the children I have today. So he, she is taking a stand against gender-affirming care for minors.
Now, Andrew, you know movies. Do you know the movie where the man got pregnant? Let's see. What did he say? He's got to write it down. Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger? All right. The one before that. I think there was a Burt Reynolds movie called Rabbit Test. Does that sound familiar to anybody?
It sounds a little bit familiar.
Rabbit Test with Burt Reynolds. Probably Dom DeLuise, because that's how they rolled back then.
Sure.
And I think that Burt Reynolds was a pregnant man in a movie called Rabbit Test from like 1981 or 3 or something. Rabbit Test with Burt Reynolds. Now we're looking at a...
We're looking at a piece of art, I guess, an
sculpture.
Art installation, a sculpture of this Thomas Beatie. But look behind. Look at the art that's in the background. It's just a bronze doggy style of a man is being mounted by a woman.
Yes. It's called Ode to Pegging.
My God.
I was part of that process.
Modern art is fucked.
I actually posed as the guy.
Nice.
In the doggy style.
Yeah.
Now the busty woman behind me was not actually pegging me, just so you should know. But we had to pose in front.
You had to stay in that position for a long time, right?
Not seeing Rabbit Test, the movie. Is it possible Ace is wrong about something?
No. Google him right. You know, speaking of Burt Reynolds movies, I told you that I watched Smokey and the Bandit the other day.
Hold on. Paternity from 1981 with Burt Reynolds. I said Burt Reynolds. I said 81 or 83. And you're saying Paternity. I'm saying it was called Rabbit Test and something called it Paternity now. You got to look. So is there a movie where Burt Reynolds gets pregnant from 1981? And that's what we got to look up.
I believe you mentioned earlier, which made me think of this. You said you were going to punch Andrew's mom in the stomach so that he wouldn't have her if you could go back in time.
Well, she wouldn't have him.
Right.
Wouldn't have him, yes. I understand the he-she stuff's got you floating a little bit.
Right. I watched Smokey and the Bandit recently.
Yeah.
And I was really curious. Are these lines going to still be in the movie? And you will be happy to know that Jackie Gleason still says the first thing I'm going to do when I get home is punch your mama in the mouth.
Okay. Burt Reynolds from 81 was in Paternity. Rabbit Test with Billy Crystal, world's first pregnant man. So Paternity and Rabbit Test. What was Paternity then about? So Billy Crystal played the world's first pregnant man in 1978. Now we need to see a trailer for Rabbit Test. Was that Joan? Oh, God. Who else?
Looks like Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers and Billy Crystal? Oh, we got to see that. And then what was the Burt Reynolds one? All right, we're going to figure all this out. I want to see
these trailers.
I'm going to see these trailers, too. All right, I was off, but not that far. We had a Paternity with Burt. We had Billy's the first pregnant guy. But was Burt... What was Paternity with Burt? Maybe that was just a little straighter forward. Yes, Billy Crystal, Rabbit Test. By the way, Dawson.
Yeah.
What rock song is the Rabbit Test featured in?
Oh, that's Aerosmith.
Yeah.
I think
it's Walk This Way.
Can't catch me because the rabbit done died.
Yeah. Any Chuck? Any reference to rabbit and pregnant and rabbit done died?
Last Child.
Last
Child.
It's called Last Child.
Yeah.
Nah, I think it's Walk This Way.
You know I got nothing here.
That's my general default setting with you, Chuck. But I just wanted to check. They used to.
Yeah, it was the pregnancy test. I think it's an old wives' tale, actually.
It was a pregnant test, a rabbit.
Yeah, something about a rabbit and period blood.
Oh, really?
I think that had something to do with that.
All right, well, watch the trailer for Rabbit Test.
And You Can't Catch Me because the rabbit done died.
Yes, he did.
Is from Last Child.
Hi, I'm Joan Rivers, and I'm here editing my movie Rabbit Test. I just love editing because you can control your film and develop your bust at the same time. Want to see some scenes? Take a look, Sailor.
Why don't I just finish this cigarette and,
He's gonna finish this cigarette.
Inside.
Rabbit Test is a movie about an innocent man's first love.
Come here.
Cigarette. He popped the dolly with the cigarette.
You really know how to turn a guy off, Jackie.
And his reactions to everyday situations.
Nice talking to you.
We'll meet his sensitive and understanding mother.
Are you a fairy?
His own pastor.
I'm Jewish. Can I still go in?
Of course. Just don't pray.
His foreign students.
Class dismissed.
Class dismissed.
Goodbye.
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 Immigration! And his loyal comrades.
Excuse me. May I go to the bathroom?
Is that an ice joke?
Very nice.
This is offensive.
Oh, by the way, Rabbit Test is a movie about the world's first pregnant man.
You're pregnant!
Mr. Mendoza.
Well, it's blackface. Paul Lynn.
20 million years of evolution, and I have to become the first man ever to become pregnant? Why couldn't it have been somebody else? Wilt Chamberlain, I mean, he's tall, he could carry better. There's no mother. I'm not married.
I'll marry you. I still don't understand how you could confuse a bladder and a heart during a transplant operation. Please, Julius, you...
All right, we got it. All right, so Rabbit Test is Billy Crystal getting pregnant. Then what was the Burt Reynolds movie? Is that where he was being accused of being a dad? That was a paternity test? Rabbit Undie. Yes, it did. Ba-na-na-na-na. What song is that?
I don't know.
It's not Walk This Way?
No, you know what? It's Sweet Emotion.
Sweet Emotion.
It's Sweet Emotion.
Rabbit Dundee.
Yeah.
Dawson's right. Awesome Dawson. Sweet Emotion. All right, let's see. Jesus Christ, we made a movie about Billy Crystal getting pregnant in 1978.
So strange.
Going to be in Vegas coming up on Thursday, July 9th, and then Friday, and then Saturday. Be over there doing a stand-up over at Kimmel's place. And then also, where are we going to be here? Huntington Beach, Sea Lakes at the beach. Fun place. That'll be July 25th.
Great venue on the beach.
That is a great venue on the beach, and that is a good time for one and all. So, till next time. Adam Carolla for Cary Elwes and Awesome Dawson saying mahalo.